It has taken me several years to get the Jeep to where it's at today, and I've been getting a lot of requests from you guys lately to do a comprehensive review of all the modifications that I've done to the Jeep over the last couple of years. So that's what I'm going to do today, guys. I'm going to walk you around. We're going to do a full exterior talk about everything that I've done. Stay tuned. Welcome to TrailRecon. I'm Brad, and today on this episode, we're going to walk around the outside of my Jeep, and I'm going to show you all the upgrades I've done over the last couple of years. I'm going to talk about the ones that I've taken off and why, and also going to tell you my overall impressions on how things are working. But let me just say this. This is the happiest I've been with my Jeep since I got it. Capability, style-wise, I'm loving where we sit today, but we're still not done. But you know, it's a little bit funny because when I bought the Jeep, this is the Rubicon edition. It's a 2015 Rubicon. I didn't plan on doing any upgrades. I mean, I bought a Rubicon. It's perfectly capable right out of the box. Well, that all changed the minute we started doing harder and harder trails, and I wanted a little more capability. And then I just wanted to add a little more style. So that's how I've ended up where the Jeep is today. Now let me mention that we have a brand new TrailRecon Amazon shop, and I will leave a link down below. Just about everything we're going to talk about today, guys, is in that shop. If there's something you see here in the video you want to check out, click the link below, go check it out. It helps support the channel. All right, why don't we talk about tires and suspension first. The question I get asked most often is, what tires am I running and do I like them? And right now I am running 37-inch BFG all-terrain KO2s, and I love these tires. You know, my Jeep is my daily driver. I drive it 60 miles Monday through Friday back and forth to work. And having a tire that's nice and quiet on the road where I can actually hear myself think and listen to a little music is really nice. But these tires have been really good off-road. You know, I'm here in the Southwest and we hit a lot of desert, a lot of rocks, not a lot of mud. So I know these tires don't see a lot of mud, but they perform really well for my needs. Now, maybe if I lived in Georgia where you got that thick old clay, maybe a mud terrain would be a better tire. I'm loving these tires so far. I've got about 15,000 miles on them. Now, I did go through a couple different sets of tires before we got here. We started off with the stock 32-inch BFG mud terrains, and those were a great tire, but I wanted something with a bigger footprint. So we upgraded to the Cooper STT Pros in a 35-inch tire, and I gotta say, off-road, those tires were awesome. I never had a complaint with those tires off-road. The only challenge was I put 40,000 miles on those tires, and as time went along, they got a little louder and a little louder. And maybe if my Jeep wasn't my daily driver, maybe I would have kept those tires. But it was time for a change after about 40,000 miles. And then I upgraded to a set of tires. They were a mud terrain tire, and I'm gonna leave them nameless because we had some major tire failures with those. If you saw the Baja video, the tread was peeling off. And so that was a no-go for me. I need a tire that's reliable. So that's why right after that Baja trip, I upgraded to these BFG KO2s all-terrains, and I love them. Now, will I go to a different tire next time? Probably, because I always want to test new tires, give you guys some good information. But for now, all-terrains, they're working for me. Now, they are mounted on some KMC Machete bead locks, and I love these bead locks. First of all, I love the way they look. I know that there's a lot of guys out there that love black rims. I love the polished rim. Having a bead lock has made things really nice. You know, these are super, super strong. My only complaint is if I need to go change a tire, I've got to go to a specialty shop because most places will not change a bead lock for safety reasons. But otherwise, I'm really happy with the rims. They look good and they've been rock solid on the trail. And behind these big old tires and rims, I installed the Teraflex Big Brake Kit. And this is a must upgrade if you're gonna run 37-inch tires or larger, because my stopping power really decreased after adding these tires, and this has made such a difference. A super easy install, worth the price, worth the effort. Now, some of you may remember that the very first lift kit we installed on the Jeep was a Teraflex 2.5-inch budget boost. And actually, that was a really good lift kit for the 35-inch tires. We wheeled on that thing for over a year and a half, and it worked out really well. And for the price, you can't beat it. But we wanted a little more capability. We wanted to go a little taller, and so that's why we upgraded to this rock crawler overland lift kit, but we've modified it since we got it. So if you saw the video before, you know that the overland lift kit has a 3.5-inch lift in the rear and a 2.5-inch lift in the front. And the reason for that offset is because when you throw a tent and a rack and all your gear in the back, that it pushes it down, and so that kind of levels things out. I never saw it do that. It's always had that rake towards the front, and so I wanted to level things out. So I've thrown a 3.5-inch spring in the front, so we're 3.5 overall. And then I did upgrade all the rear control arms, the upper and lower control arms, to adjustable rock crawler arms, and that allowed me to get that pinion angle right where I needed it. So very happy with the suspension. If you watch the videos, it's performed great off-road, and it's a really good on-road suspension. No complaints about that. Now, I recently put on some Fox 2.0 remote reservoir shocks. I did that right before our Utah to Colorado trip, and I love them. It's been a nice upgrade. The shocks are a little stiffer than what I had on there before. I had the Bilstein 5100s, but I'm really happy with their performance. No complaints. I guess maybe what I would like is some adjustability. So I don't know, maybe down the road we'll get some adjustable shocks so while I'm going off-road I can soften things up. But I love these shocks, guys. They're working really, really well for me. Also underneath the Jeep, I have the Adams 1350 front and rear drive shafts. You know, I started to tear up the boots on my old stock ones, and the angle was just maxed out on those stock drive shafts. So these Adams drive shafts have been a really nice upgrade. Also, I've got some Evo Under Armour underneath the Jeep, which gets a lot of abuse, but it's been really good on protecting. Let's roll over to the front. Let me talk about the front suspension and all that stuff we've done over there. When you buy the Rubicon edition of the Jeep, you get Dana 44 front and rear axles, and those axles are rock solid. But when you throw 37-inch tires on there and add that extra rotating mass, there's a few things that you need to take into consideration. And so I've done a couple things. I've still got a few to do, but so far to date, I've done C-gussets, and they're just some basic C-gussets that I had my buddy weld on there. And I upgraded the ball joints to the Dynatrac ball joints. Those things are rock solid. And what I really like about them is that you can rebuild them without having to remove them. Now, I am still running the stock 410 gears, and this is a question I get all the time. Brad, are you going to upgrade? And the answer is yes, absolutely, I'm going to upgrade. My plan is to go to 513s eventually. You know, I don't notice it so much on daily driving, but when we were in the mountains on our way to Colorado, boy, I could really feel it. And my buddy, who is also running 37s, had 513 gears. He was having no problems up the hill, and he was actually getting better gas mileage than I was. So 513s are in my future. Now, I have not done any sleeves, I haven't done any trusses, and I have not done chromoly shafts, but I do plan on doing a few of those things going forward. But for now, no complaints. These axles are holding up just fine. I have put on some stronger diff covers, which is something I absolutely recommend. These are Poison Spider diff covers. You know, if you're gonna be hitting the rocks, you're gonna bang them up. And if you look at these diff covers next to some stock ones, boy, it's a huge difference. You gotta upgrade them, guys, if you're gonna be out on the rocks. Now, underneath with the Rubicon, you get some pretty solid OEM tie rod and drag link, but I actually upgraded to Synergy right after I bought the Jeep, and those were okay when I was running 35s, but I wanted something much, much stronger. And so I upgraded to Steer Smart's front system. It's a great system. It's a 1.5 ton tie rod and drag link, and boy, let me tell you, these things are rock solid. I have no complaints. Manage these tires and the whole suspension when I'm out on the trail, no issues. And recently I upgraded to the Fox ATS 2.0 steering stabilizer, and what I like about it is that it's adjustable. You know, I put it on the stiff steading most of the time when I'm driving on the road going to and from work, but when I hit the trail I can soften things up a little bit, which has been really nice. It's a little bit of an investment, but for me it's been worth it. I'm very happy with it. Now, under the hood of the Jeep, I am bone stock. No superchargers or high-speed air intakes. For me, you know, I'm all about reliability, and I appreciate the work that the engineers have done on this 3.6 liter engine. And when I'm out on the trail, I don't want some aftermarket thing to cause a failure for me, so I'm not running anything under the Jeep that would cause that. Now, I did try one of those throttle boosters for a while, which connects between your gas pedal and the computer to kind of adjust the sensitivity. You know, that was really nice on-road. I really actually liked it, but off-road was a little bit of a hindrance. It was just a little too sensitive, and you actually had to pull the thing apart to make it adjustable. So I actually pulled that out. I'm not running that anymore. But otherwise, we're bone stock underneath, except for my S-Pod, which allows me to plug in all my auxiliary stuff to it. It was actually one of the very first upgrades I did to the Jeep, and I'm very happy with it. But I will be doing a little bit of a modification to it here soon. We'll be talking about that in another video. Now, I was running the stock bumper for a long time, but it became a little too limiting once I put these 37s on there because we were rubbing at every turn. So I had to trim them and cut them off. And it was working okay, but it just didn't look great. So that's why we upgraded to this Poison Spider Bruiser bumper, which I love. And this thing is so rock solid. It is their stubby one, which gives me plenty of tire clearance, but I also love that the winch is recessed in there. It's great. It's been holding up awesome. Now, the winch I'm running is the Smittybilt XRC. It's their 9,500 pound winch. Relatively speaking, it's a budget winch, but this winch has worked for me many times. I did upgrade it with synthetic rope a while back, and I have used this winch to pull myself out of sticky situations, and I have helped many other folks that were having some trouble out there on the trail. It's a great winch, guys. You know, Warren is the one that that's, got that reputation behind it. I wouldn't mind having a Warren winch someday, but the Smittybilt has been holding up just fine. I've also got the Factor 55 flat link attached to there, and I like that because it's just, it's a little safer, it's a little more solid than having that little hook that was on there. It's working great for me. And then the lights. We have done a lot of lights over the last couple of years. Let's talk about headlights. So originally I upgraded to some really cheapo, I think they were like an aux beam headlight. They were awful. They blinded people, they would flicker. So then I tried a bulb, which was a bulb replacement for the stock one. I had the same kind of issues. It was just flickering and wasn't a very clean looking light. So then we upgraded to these KC Gravity Pro headlights. Man, I love these headlights. And we have a full review on there. I will leave a link down below, guys. They are perfect when I'm out driving. I never have anybody flashing me like I'm blinding them. And boy, when you throw the high beams on, you get a whole lot of light down the trail. I really like these headlights. Up top, we are running the KC Gravity Pro 6 light bar. And not only is this, in my opinion, the best looking light bar out there for the Jeep, but man, it performs really well. I love the light bar. I love the way it looks, and I love the performance. Down below, inside the bumper, I have attached to my fog light switch in the Jeep is these G34 KC lights, and they're a driving light. Actually work out really well for me, and I like the fact that I can turn them on and off with my stock switch, so that works really well. And then up here, mounted on the bumper, I've got the KC Pro 6, and these are also a driving light, but I've put the amber covers on there, and I really like having that amber light, especially at night when I'm out on the desert with a group of people. When you're kicking up dust, sometimes when you shine a little too much white light, you just get a lot of glare and it makes things hard to see. So shutting off all the lights and just running these ambers, it works out really well. You can kind of see right through the dust. Also, it's really nice just to run these on a daytime when we're out on a dusty run because people can see you from the rear. So very happy with those guys. What else have we done here? Oh, I did upgrade my hood latches, and these are some Rugged Ridge hood latches. And what I like about those is they got rid of that hood flutter. They're metal, they're not rubber or plastic. Made a big difference, super easy install. So if it's not something you've done on your JK, definitely something worth considering. It's a cheap, easy do-it-yourself project. Now, let's head over to the side of the Jeep and talk about a couple of things over there. All right, moving over to the side of the Jeep, we've got the Poison Spider fenders, and these are the standard size fenders. And man, installing these was so gratifying because this is not an easy install. It took me a while to get these installed, and I will leave a link down below, guys, for the video that we did of that. It takes a little bit of work, but boy, the benefit is awesome. You know, I'm not a big plastic fender fan, and putting these on and getting them powder coated to match the Jeep, man, it just transformed the whole look of the Jeep, and they are very rugged and very strong. But you got to make sure you take your time when installing these. Now, going down below, we've got the rock slider, and I have the OEM rock slider. I have not upgraded that thing yet, and it has taken a beating. It is definitely chewed up. The only thing I did to it was, you know, trim the ends to allow for the tire flex. You know, it was rubbing a little bit initially, so you got to trim that if you want to run the OEM. I'll probably upgrade that soon with something that's got a little more upward protection towards the door, but no complaints with the OEM. It's held up really well. Now, moving up to the top of the Jeep here, we've got the Rhino rack platform with the backbone system. And I love having a roof rack. You know, I mount the tent up there, I can throw gas up there, my shovels, a high lift jack if I need to. Having a roof rack just really adds to your storage capability. The only complaint I have with this roof rack is that I went with the low profile legs. You know, when I mount the tent up there, you got to reach your hands up underneath to get to the bolts. It would be nice to have a little more room. So I actually have some new legs that are going to raise this up about another inch, which is going to be nice, much more functional. Now, for this roof rack system, you got to drill holes in your hardtop, so that's something you need to consider. But I've been very happy with the roof rack. On the sides here, I've got the KC scene lights, which I love these things. They put out a great amount of light at camp. Perfect for my needs. I've also got a couple mounted on the rear, but I'm going to be swapping those out here with something that we'll be talking about on the channel very soon, guys. All right, let's move around to the back of the Jeep and let me show you what I got back there. All right, when you mount a big old 37-inch tire or even a 35-inch tire for that matter, you're maxing out your tailgate hinges capability. And so I ran a 35-inch tire back here on the stock hinge for a long time, and my tailgate was not happy. It actually started to buckle a little bit. So I did finally upgrade it when I got these tires to a Teraflex hinge gate system, and that thing is rock solid, and it made such a difference opening and closing the door. I was a little delayed on upgrading that. That's something you definitely need to do if you're gonna be throwing a bigger tire up here pretty quick, guys. Down below, I've got the rear Poison Spider Bruiser bumper, and I love this bumper. I love the lines of it and the extra clearance I get with it. Now, I haven't upgraded the lights in there yet. That's still on my to-do list, but I've been very happy with this bumper. It holds up really well. And then over here we've got the JW Speaker Taillights, which are a really good tail light. You know, I love the design of them. They're LED. They just got that military look to them. Been very happy with their performance. They made a big difference over stock. And then underneath is the last thing we're going to talk about, and that is the exhaust. I am still running the stock exhaust, and it has taken a beating. My tailpipe has seen many, many rocks. So maybe down the road I'll upgrade my exhaust system, but I don't want anything that's going to be loud or obnoxious. Just something that's a little more sleeker and tucked up I think would be good. I'm pretty happy with how my whole outside setup of the Jeep is. If you have questions or comments about anything you saw here in the video, let me know down below, guys, and I will do my best to respond to them. And as I mentioned early on, we have a TrailRecon Amazon shop where just about everything you saw today will be in that store. Definitely, if there's something you saw here, go check it out, guys. We appreciate the support. And look, we'll be doing an interior review of the Jeep here soon. That's going to require its own video because we got a lot going on in there. I hope you found today's video informative. If you're visiting TrailRecon for the first time, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a member of the TrailRecon team. Please remember to always travel the trails responsibly. Thanks for watching.